Hey, everybody, dive right on in. We broke into the Metro Court pool once again, so it's just us partying. Nobody's here to bother us, no security. Okay, no Yuri lurking in the background. Okay,
We just keep on going to Home Depot and getting another one of those
just do bolt
cutters.
cutters, right? And we
Yep,
discard it because that's got our prints on it. We
exactly.
can never have it linked to us. Because once again, we do it. You know, we broke into the Metro Court. There's no Olivia with a clipboard. You know, writing down safety violations. None of that. Okay. No Carly in
And
the bar.
if they happen to catch us somehow, we will just like blackmail Nina into getting rid of the tape.
Yeah. She'll just sneak into
She
the
just
into the
she
into
just
the
wiped
mainframe.
that.
You know,
Just wipe it.
they didn't think to change the password, and Nina still has it. That's why she's shrouded in light. She doesn't want to be spotted. Hey, everybody, come on in. Come on in. The water's fine. This is the Skinny Dip podcast with Matt and Kat. Don't worry, we're not skinny dipping. You are. We're lifeguards. All right. Dive right in on to the deep end because today, Ma, we're gonna talk about John Black majority. You know,
I know. See, we're not even talking about. We're at the pool
we're
of the
at the
Metro,
pool.
but we're not talking about anybody from Port Charles.
No, I don't know. I mean, if there was a pool that I knew of that existed in Salem, then that is where we would be. So use your imaginations. Pretend like we're at the pool at the gym. You know, the Salem gym, Salem University. You know, they got a college. I don't know if
I feel like I should go see like Brady or no, I should go see Roman at the pub and ask him where the swimming hole is.
he knows. He seems like he's somebody that's been around and around and around Roman Brady. He's somebody that's had multiple faces, multiple iterations of who is Roman Brady. He's actually the catalyst, who would agree, of the John Black experience.
Well, I read today that John has had like a dozen identities
That's
or versions of himself.
like this could be me. Maybe this is me. Oh, it's not me though. After all, is it? I saw that once upon a time, he and Stefano were half brothers.
Yes, I saw that too.
But as it turns out, no, we're not related at all. I still don't know who my family is. So, given the fact that he's had 12 identities, Dick Van Dyke's got to be the last one, right? Like, that's got to be the last daddy he's had, I hope. How do you
No, it's
cast Dick
not
Van
me.
Dyke
Come on.
as John Black's dad and then, a year later be like, nah, I guess Timothy wasn't my dad after all.
No, I would think that they're going to let this stick.
I would
I
hope
would
so. It's Dick Van Dyke.
think by all means.
I mean, if you cast a legend, I mean, I don't know the other actors who may have come through pretending to be John Black's dad, but if you,
I didn't see anything like that. Like I didn't see a in my looking around
mhm.
today any character that like had like a his father figure for very at any length of time.
No, I would. It seems and sounds like these are like the story of the summer. John Black finds out that he's actually the son of the president, and it's like, oh no, Patch proved I'm not. So yeah, let's stick with Timothy Rowe.
Yes.
And get him out of that wheelchair and dancing around once again. I'm high. I mean, we can talk about this in more detail. 9 a.m. Sunday morning for Days for Dummies when we talk about it all.
Hmm.
I saw the Days of Our Lives was trying to get a year ahead of the game. A year.
I mean, I don't really understand the point of that. Not really. A
Ooh,
whole year?
that's a long time. I know.
So what is the point of that?
I don't know. My first thought when I was thinking about it, because I'm not back there, but my first thought when I was thinking about it was maybe they are, really just trying to get ahead of it when it comes to the contract that they have because they were signed for 2 years,
Hmm.
something like that. You
Hmm.
know, maybe they're really trying to be like, all right, we're going to satisfy these 2 years, and then we'll really be able to sell more content. It doesn't allow for a very flexible creative structure when it comes to fan
Exactly.
response.
That is what I was thinking too. That's exactly what I was thinking. Are they going to rewrite story because of fans?
They
More
can't.
likely
They
not.
wouldn't be able to. And
But
so, if you make this decision to get a year ahead, then that it just doesn't matter. It seems like, we're going to go with what we go with.
so if they have a story that's just falling in the crapper,
Like a lot of them that are on TV right now.
they don't have any choice but to finish. I mean, there's no deviation. There's no
No,
like, let's take a quick swerve
no.
here.
In theory, it's, conceivably already finished. In the can, ready to be broadcast.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems as though they don't want to be very responsive to fan reaction. They're going to make their show. You're going to watch it or you're not going to not. And whether or
Fair
not
enough.
you like it in real time isn't going to influence it, especially if the year ahead. Hey, Otherworldly. Otherworldly is here. She says, I am so committed to making it to
I
a live that I am sitting in my car using the free Wi-Fi from Firestone next door at Mapco. And follows up with,
well,
hi,
thank you.
Mama Matt and Cat. Now,
Where there's a
Otherworldly,
will, there's a
there
way.
is Otherworldly, the top commenter on YouTube. So I'm very happy to see her here live, being able to contribute to the chat as we talk about John Black, John the Pawn.
John the Pawn.
Gosh, what a voice. Now, he's always had the same cadence about him, but when it comes to the gruffness, that came with age.
Yes, I watched him quite a bit today. I watched him for, I scoured the YouTube.
Yeah, you gave yourself a little accessory course in John Black.
I did today. I did. And you're right. He always has had that gruff voice,
Mm-hmm.
but it has gotten gruffer as time has went on.
Yeah.
And he's always again had an eye like that.
He's
But
always
it's
kind of done
gotten-
the little side mouth talk thing.
Yeah, but it's just become more so
Mm-hmm.
as he's become an older guy.
Yeah. I
like it.
just love the lip droop cell. That's one of my favorite Drake Hogistinisms when it comes to his face.
And do you know what year he started on
I saw 85.
I saw 86 over and over again. So
Okay.
that means like he was starting at Days of Our Lives about the time of your birth.
Yeah. And John Black and I were kindred spirits. We came into the world at the same time. So
And did you know?
Mm.
And did you know this too? That his son Ben played Lucas on GH for a minute.
no, I didn't.
Yeah.
See, when it comes down to it, who are John Black's kids anyway? They could be anybody at any time.
Well, Drake has 4 babies.
His real son,
His real son Ben
Ben
Hogiston.
Hogiston.
was Lucas for a hot minute on GH.
Like when he was a little kid?
No, as an adult.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, but not the new.
I think he was replacement player for a few days.
Okay, just somebody to fill in. Well, that's neat.
And he kind of looks like his dad, sorta.
Okay.
Not a lot.
I don't know what he's up
And
to
then,
nowadays.
and then the young woman that is Drake's daughter-in-law
Uh-huh.
played Maxie for a hot minute
Well,
on
look
GH
at that. It's an
as well.
actor family. I didn't look into the Hogiston family. I
That's
really
the
only
only
looked into
thing-
the John Black character.
I didn't see anything about his daughters. He has 3 daughters.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything about his daughters, but his son and his son-in-law's wife, his daughter-in-law, have both been on GH, and he got a pass for the grandkids, 5 or 6 of them.
Wow. Okay. Look at that. Full life for Drake. No
And
Emmys.
he married his high school girl
No Emmys.
or his college girl. He's been
But
married to
what
the same woman.
a lovely life and what a large family he has. Who needs
I
an
think
Emmy?
Drake's had a pretty good life.
Sounds like it. You get to be a soap star for 40 years.
Yep.
Okay. You have this huge family. And clearly, at least he's good at putting it on in public. But he seems like a
And-
happy fella.
And his first acting gig was 7 Brides for 7 Brothers, which was a series back in the day. I
Never even.
guess in the early 80s. I don't remember the
Yeah.
early 80s, but it was a casting call for Columbia, and there was 75,000 folks there.
Holy smokes!
And
He
he
beat out
got
75,000 people.
and he got and he got picked.
So we got to get Drake Hogestyn on the show so we can talk to him about auditioning against 75,000 people for his first
Unless
gig.
what I was reading isn't correct, but that was that's a lot. And it didn't seem like he had any experience prior to that. But I tell you, he's not a bad looking 70-year-old dude.
Oh no,
He'll be
he's held it together.
71. He'll be 71 in September.
He's held it together, man. Working out with Dick Van Dyke. That's how they knew each other.
He's not a bad looking dude. But I tell you what, back in the 80s and 90s,
he was just the epitome of handsome for an 80s man, wasn't he?
He's pretty hot. He had some good. You know what he had? Oh, he had some great hair.
You can't, I mean, I don't know if you can necessarily put him in that aesthetic that he had from the 80s and put him into today and have people go like, ooh. But when it comes to like epitome of the 80s, like suave soap guy, oh man, was that Drake Hogestyn.
Yeah, he was.
John Black, oof, be still my heart as you steal it away. Not knowing who you are. Otherworldly says, did you know that Stefano made him the pawn in his very beginnings in Salem?
Yeah.
We did. It's such an interesting concept and interesting story. That's something that really drew me to John Black to begin with, was the fact that he came to town not knowing nothing, then thinking that he was Roman, and then finding out that he's not Roman, and then just going back to being called John Black because that's who I thought I was before I thought I was Roman. Like, and then he's just stuck with that.
He has such a tight relationship with Eric.
Mm-hmm.
Eric's not really his child. Eric and Bill aren't his. They're Romans.
Yeah, but he hung out with them when they were babies, didn't he?
I guess so, yeah.
Something like that. In one of the times he was, and then, Rojan, I think is what they called him way back when. Otherworldly says that his lack of warmth and expression was because he was introduced as the missing in action Roman Brady, who we recognize to this day as a man's man. I would say Roman Brady, yeah. He comes off as a man's man for sure.
Well, I'm glad you're in the chat because you can help us out because we still are very firmly in the course of Days for Dummies.
This is like us doing an extra credit project, like an essay on John Black, where it's just like, here's the basics. When it comes to any sort of detail, I don't got it. We can rely a little bit on YouTube, and then there's also a hard drive out there that we have access to that has some really old Days of Our Lives clips, a super exclusive VIP access for us here on the 10th floor only.
There's plenty.
So much. There's so much on YouTube.
You can just find with your fingers things all day long.
I just wish that Hollywood had the foresight in the 70s and 80s to hang on to that kind of stuff. Even the 90s, early 2000s, before streaming. Before Netflix became a thing, before DVDs, really, when you could put TV shows on DVDs and only have 3 or 4 DVDs for the season, rather than like 10 videotapes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goodness. They remember the Power Rangers VHSs, Ma? They only had like 2 episodes on there. There's only an hour of content.
Mm-hmm.
Power Rangers VHS, 1 hour. What are they doing? I bet that thing cost $29.95. I bet it did. I bet it did
too.
You should know. You bought it. Otherworldly says, because he was so sexy, of course, we're talking about John Black here in the skinny dip. Because he was so sexy, Marlena wanted to stay with him, and Sammy resented both of them for that.
I bet.
So
and you know what else?
Yeah.
You know what else I saw today? It didn't have anything with, but I saw, and you know me, I love it. I saw a marathon of Sammy slapping the crap out of people.
Just a compilation of just slap, slap, slap. Well, we need to get her on there so she can deck Everett or something. Slap the Bobby right out of him.
She slapped the tarnation out of Nicole a couple of times.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to look up that compilation of Sammy slaps. I wonder if we can get away with like showing it and doing live reactions. We probably could. You get in trouble when you show like more than 30 seconds of content. You know, if you show less than that, you might be able to get away with it.
Perfect timing. Whack.
Whack, whack, whack. So, you know, from my understanding, Roman hasn't, you know, always been the nicest of men, especially when it comes to Marlena and her feelings for John. I've seen clips, I have read articles, and I have heard stories of Roman being like, you know, I can't do the impression because I don't really know what he sounded like before, and doing it now I feel would be disrespectful because it's just so damaged. His voice, you know?
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't know why he's like that.
I don't know either. You know, age. I don't know. I didn't.
And
I
I'm
never
not,
found out why.
and I'm not trying to be any sort of way, but
No,
why does his top lip not move at all?
maybe he's had some sort of medical condition that we just don't know about.
I don't know.
You know,
don't-
I don't know. He's a legend in daytime. People know him and love him. You know, it's
Yeah.
Roman Brady, right?
Yeah.
But he hasn't always been nice to Marlene. I'm sure they get along fine now.
He even gave Ava a job today.
He even did, yes, and people are not happy about that. Ava killed your dad, Roman. What are you doing? Getting over it, folks. That's what he's doing. Ava's turned a new leaf, all right? She's not a bad mob princess anymore. She's somebody who's stuck in the middle trying to do good so Trip doesn't have to live in China. You know?
Yeah.
It's all there. You just have to accept it instead of fight it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So this pawn thing has been around for a long
It's been around for a long time, but I really want to finish my thought about Roman because we keep on getting
Okay.
distracted. So he's really mean. He's really mean to Marlena at a certain point because Marlena was really in love with John, okay?
Uh-huh.
When they found out that John was John and Roman was Roman and all that kind of stuff. Brilliant soap story, by the way. Once again, I have to compliment them on that. Anyway, so he's like, you know what, Marlena? Ever since John Black came to town, you haven't wanted nothing to do with me in this here bed, right? Of course, he was a little, you know, more explicit than I'm being. And she's like, well, and he's like, no, if you want him, you go ahead and be with him, right? And then she leaves to go be with John.
Okay.
All right. You know, I think it was a lot more mean than that. I think he might have like pushed her around a little bit, you know, classic 80s I'm mad at you stuff.
You know, actually, I saw a couple of things like that today too. I was kind of surprising. It was kind of surprising.
Yeah.
I saw Lucas hitting women.
Lucas Horton? Not our own Brian Datillo.
Yes.
Well, the character of Lucas as played by Brian Datillo. He used to be a lady slapper, huh?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I'm sure it was villainized and not okay. And something that he had to deal with.
They wouldn't be writing it that way today.
Shoot. I don't know. Gosh, they would have to write like a 4-week story in which the person is immediately caught and punished and shipped off the show.
The only way they can do something like that today is like they could have Clyde hit Ava and then have her immediately kill him.
Yeah, you know, it's true. It's true. Roman used to be a cop, and he was a partner to Abe, informs us from Otherworldly.
Yes, I do. I do know that just from hints from watching the last couple of months. They have alluded to that a little bit.
Yeah. You know, I imagine John might have even partnered up with Abe, maybe even at some point thinking that he was Roman. He lived Roman's life for a solid 5 years, 5 whole years, before they decided, no, what, you're not Roman Brady.
Yeah, I guess they have reconned him quite a bit.
I think that's retconned but whatever.
They've done it a lot though.
Yeah, I mean, they've done it a lot, but when it comes down to it, they kind of made the character perfect for something like that.
Yeah.
You don't have to stick to it.
No, and that's kind of a day's thing anyway.
Yeah.
That's a day thing anyway.
Yeah, we're going to change this here, a little bit there. You know, as we find out, it's actually this thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're going to refer to it a little differently. You know, it's tough for us because we don't know what it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so it's really easy for us to accept the show as it is every week, day after day.
Oh, sure.
Super easy because you know
Yes.
we don't know that Steve wasn't around when so and so was a baby and would never have held them during Christmas and all of that stuff that
And we
people
don't
get
know
hung up
that.
on. You know, but also at the same time, that allows us to appreciate the stories as they are, you know, as they're intended in the year 2024 without being compared to 1984.
Yeah.
You know, like the stuff that's happening right now between Steve, John, Pon, and Constantine. Constantine.
Constantine's too much.
I'm going to marry Maggie. I want you to be there. As a personal guest, can you pretend like you never heard of it? Oh, thank you, Maggie. Maggie. Anyway, Constantine, so, you know, all this stuff. So they're like, oh, you know, Steve, John, Steve, John, Steve, da, 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 da. That stuff wouldn't have happened back then. That's not right. It's the wrong year. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. We're not hung up on whether or not it was 1983 versus 1987. You know?
And you know what? And since I don't remember things all that well from that long ago, even if I had been watching, I probably wouldn't.
You know, even if they change the date 8 times in the dialogue, it's more about, you know, the quality of the story, the momentum of the story, the emotion behind it, and less about the details. You know,
Yep.
it matters that Steve loves Trip right now. It doesn't matter what role he might have played in Trip's life before.
No.
You know, Roman barked at Marlena, but we never thought he would ever physically harm her, says Otherworldly. He just always came home to their apartment that was hers before she agreed to the marriage. Always the shadow and heaviness, I guess the gravity of John Black over that relationship.
Well, she and John have been together this stretch for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I think really what's kept them apart more than anything else has been one of them is dead. You know, which I think has kind of been few and far between for these two particular characters.
And you know, Drake's been on the show and been off the show and been on the show and been off the show 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, but that's not bad for 40 years.
Yeah, he's been off and on. He's been off and on some. They even fired he and Deidre for a minute and brought him back the next year.
Yeah, because people were like, no.
They were trying to save money. They were trying to save money. That's what I read anyway.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they're pretty expensive.
And then the next year they brought him back.
Drake and Deidre have amongst the lowest episode guarantees of the cast. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's not the lowest, but it's not also the highest either.
I'm surprised to hear that because we see them so often, actually.
Yeah, you know, I mean, but that also means that, well, I mean, so I'm talking about last year. Who knows what their deal is this year? But I think last year they amounted to 40 episodes or something, like all in all.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, I think I think Marlena spent some time dead though.
Probably.
Like poisoned and
when Kayla was dead at the same time,
yeah,
and I think
they had Kayla, Kate, and Marlena all dead, hanging out with Devil Bobby.
Yeah.
All right,
and
aliases.
You know, there was
John
back
Robichaux.
in like around, I think it was around 2017. I don't know what happened, but Drake hurt himself doing some kind of stunt on Days of Our Lives. Why are you doing your own stuff, dude? For one thing. Anyway. He got hurt and he was off the show for a little bit, rehabilitating from his injury. And when he came back a few months later, he didn't have dark hair anymore.
He just used that time to go gray.
He did.
It's like,
that's when John Black didn't have black hair anymore.
And now he's just John Gray.
Yep.
John Gray. All right, so he's had a few different names. He's currently, you know, he could be known as John Robichaux.
Yes, he could.
You know, you could sign that as his name. He's been known as Ryan Brady. So
Ryan Brady. Yes. Okay.
He's been known as Forrest Alamain, which I believe was his most recent identity before finding out that Timothy was his father. I think Alamain was his family before. Otherworldly says money.
And Alamain is Stefan's mother.
Yeah, that one really
Right?
loud lady. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
remember her first name, but yeah, she's an Alamein.
yeah. I want to say Vivian.
I think you're right. I think it's Vivian.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Money he didn't have, Otherworldly says, but she did. Their associates were different due to his waterfront upbringing. And were different due to his waterfront upbringing and her rich and famous lifestyle. It's very
Well,
Pretty in Pink story, you know?
yeah.
Oh gosh, Pretty in Pink. What a movie. What a great movie to always refer to. He's been known as Father John. So apparently he
Oh,
was a
I
priest.
saw a pic. I saw a clip of him today with a little collar on.
Okay. Of course, the Pawn, well
Mm-hmm.
known. He was known as Roman Brady from 86 to 91. And in
Time.
2008, he was known as John Black Demira.
Because that's when he thought he was Stefano's brother for a half a
Yep,
minute.
yep. And then they were like, nope, never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, never mind, never mind. He was
And
often featured on the
Stefano and
cover of the
him
magazines, of
were
course.
big, big enemies.
Oh yes, the just the biggest of enemies.
Big
Stefano
enemies, right?
responsible in a large way for John Black's memory loss, something that John has never been able to forgive, and of course, constantly thwarting one another. Stefano up to something, John Black in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be with my partner, Steve, or as a cop for the Salem PD, or any number of different ways, but always a thorn in Stefano's side.
Yes.
Victor Kiriakis too, while Kiriakis and Stefano Demira
Mm-hmm.
were busy fighting each other, John Black was fighting them both.
And I learned other things today too,
Oh
not
yeah,
just about Drake. The guy that plays Stefano, he's passed away now.
yes.
That dude, they say, as soon as he got out of his car, and as soon as he walked in the building, he was Stefano. Boom.
Boom.
The
Some
voice,
method.
the voice, the accent, his Italian accent,
Mm-hmm.
that, and if you didn't see him off that lot, you didn't hear his natural voice. And
Wow.
Deidre Hall said she never heard his natural voice ever.
Wow, really? They never once had a dinner off the set or
She said
anything,
she didn't do anything socially with him.
huh? Wow. Wow. That's wild. Who would
And
have
she
thought
never
that?
heard his natural voice. And they said a couple of the other actors were talking to him off lot, and they said to him, "Why are you speaking that way?" Because they're so used to him sounding like Stefano.
Because it's like,
Isn't
what do you
that
mean?
interesting?
This is my real voice.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It makes me think of that Hulk Hogan movie, Suburban Commando. I don't know if you remember that one or not, where Hulk Hogan plays an alien. Christopher Lloyd is in it.
Mm-hmm.
So Shelley Duvall, I think her name is
Mhm.
from The Shining.
Yeah.
So they're all in it together. Suburban Commando, all that kind of stuff. So was The Undertaker from wrestling as well. The Undertaker is that one of the bounty hunters who never speaks until the very end of the movie, in which he says, because he's a big gruff guy, he's like 6'8" or something like that,
Uh-huh.
big muscular, brr, brr, brr.
Mhm.
And his little voice, he goes, "You're a dead man, Ramsey." And it's just super dumb. It is just the epitome of kid humor,
Mhm.
and you love it. And so that
Of
maybe that's
course.
what the actor who played Stefano sounded like. He's just like, I'm out here. I sounded
was-
a little bit like Mike Tyson. It's not very.
It's just, you know what it made me think of? And I don't know why, but it seems like maybe because I know he's a method actor. I could just see Maurice Bernard doing that.
He walks through the door and he's just suddenly like, get out of here.
Exactly.
I'm never taking my pills. Get away from me. Somebody's messing with my medicine. I can't come to the script reading. We can't run lines. I'm too stressed about the mafia. Maybe. Wouldn't that be
Maybe.
something? Wouldn't that be something? John has never known who he is as otherworldly or where he came from due to his creator, Stefano.
Yes.
Stefano. She spelled it out. Stefano.
Yes.
Stefano. So he's not Stefano. Stefano.
Stefano.
Stefano Demiro. I don't know. I've never heard the voice really. I haven't done it. I haven't paid close enough attention to what the voice should be for me to do a Stefano.
It was more of a kind of a gruff, kind of loud.
I'm gonna listen to it and I'm gonna do my best to resurrect the voice of Stefano Demira. The Roman and Marlena story began long before the pawn, which I found to be another interesting detail where, like, she and Roman were already a super couple. And then she was like, nah, I'm leaving you for this other super couple with John. And that's just amazing. I want to, this is weird because there are elements of life from yesteryear that I wish to have experienced myself. And some of it is the heyday of soaps. You know, watching this stuff go down in the 80s, all that kind of stuff. Do I want the full 1980 existence? I'm not sure. Probably not. Do I want to be able to, like, drive a 1980s car and look at 1980s advertisements and watch 1980s soaps? Yes. But not have that be weird because it's 2024 and people would stare at me. So,
well, you'd be hard pressed to find a car from the 80s that still runs decently. They're all kind of crappy
Toyota
back
pickup.
then.
Just a tiny little blue Toyota pickup. You know, that's all I need in life.
All you need.
No GPS or cell phones, you know.
No.
You go out there, you go to a concert, and you meet the people, man.
Man.
You know, how do you get out there? How do you get out there and have a boyfriend and girlfriend? You go to a bar.
So you guys in the chat, did John ever get possessed?
By Satan?
I couldn't see that he ever got possessed.
I don't think he did, you know, because it was always the power of his love for Marlena that saved her from being possessed by the devil.
Yes.
You know?
I saw other people get possessed besides Marlena, but I didn't see any John getting possessed.
No. Johnny Demira did.
Mm-hmm.
John Devil, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gosh, I don't know.
Well, he's already part devil because Sammy's his mama.
Genetically predisposed to evil is that kid. His Hulk baby, you know, his irradiated Hulk baby is going to have quite the... Oh my goodness gracious, mother. I'm glad that John Black was able to spare himself from the radiation drama of Paulina Price.
I know.
You know, he doesn't need radiation scare on top of everything that's going on right now. He's being controlled by the red card in the hand of Constantine.
I know.
Good thing Marlena was there.
It's a good thing.
You know, she interrupted that lickety-split. She's like, I hope you don't mind, Marlena, that I was here talking to John Black alone. She's like, I do mind severely, and you need to leave.
Yeah, she told him, huh? As a matter of fact, yes, I do mind. Get out, basically.
Oh, it's okay, otherworldly. You can be tired. You just listen. Don't stress yourself. But yeah, Marlena was just like, no, I do mind. You need to go. Just what it is they're an excellent team, you know, John and Marlena.
Yeah, they are.
An excellent team, a love for the ages, and boy, oh boy, do they love strawberries.
John and Doc.
Doug. And then she calls him John, right? Like, she doesn't have a fancy name.
He calls him John.
She doesn't have a fancy
He calls her Doc.
See, you know, Roman calls her Doc, or called her Doc too. I think that's an old Romanism that he never let go.
Probably.
You know,
Probably.
Why are the most interesting soap characters the ones that can't remember nothing?
I don't know. You could just wipe them like, you know, they're like one of those dry erase boards.
Yeah, just wipe them clean.
Do it again.
You know, John Black's been wiped clean way more than Jason Morgan, but
Etch a sketch.
You know, just shake it, and we're gonna draw a new history for you. All right, this one looks like Dick Van Dyke. Great, amazing. Who do we cast as his mom? You know, a picture of his mom. She doesn't necessarily still have to be with us, but you know, is it Mary Tyler Moore? You know, do we get you know, the lady who played Rhoda to be John Black's mom? Who would be age appropriate? You know, 'cause so you know, Drake and John are supposed to be like 70, right? Like Drake Hogan's like 71.
Well, the lady that played Rhoda has passed away,
Well,
hon.
you just get a picture. You don't have to have them being alive. You know, just like, well, who's my mom, Tim? You know, who's my mom? Right? And they just show a picture of like Kitty from that 70s show, you know?
It would be hilarious if they showed a picture of Constance Towers.
Oh my God. Of course it would be hilarious. Oh my God. Ron Cavalardi. I don't know. I don't even know if I've said your name right. I'm pretty sure you're watching. So you need to pick up on this little story bit. John Black finds a picture of his mother. And the picture is of Constance Towers. Break down that wall, Ron. Break down that wall and call Frank. Call Frank Valentine and say, wouldn't it be interesting if Timothy Robichaux and Helena Cassadine had a fling? And out pops John Black. Wouldn't that not be something interesting? Oh my God. I want it. No, so we did get a lot of John Black this week. You know, we might as well take an opportunity to break it apart a little bit and talk about it. It's the John Black hour here on the 10th floor as we're skinny dipping. Skinny dipping in some sort of pool in Salem somewhere. Somewhere. I don't know where.
Gotta find the skinny on John Black.
Yes. Yeah. The red card pawn thing I find to be interesting and fun. I don't care if everybody hates it but me, but I find it to be interesting. I think Constantine is just stupid and goofy and just the personification of dumb soap villain is Constantine.
Absolutely,
You know?
absolutely. And you have to lean, and we discovered this early on watching. You gotta lean into the campy soap.
You gotta lean into the goofiness of it, all right?
You gotta lean into the goofy, campy soap. If you're not digging it, days ain't for you.
Does it
gotta be
mesh
goofy.
exactly with the established history of John Black? No, but what hasn't messed with the established history of John Black, folks? What hasn't? Okay? And as it turns out, he's not really shot that girl. Okay, she's probably still alive and well somewhere. All right?
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
Somebody pulls off their mask, and as it
see
turns out, it's Kayla the whole time. I don't know. You know?
knows?
You know, any number of different things can happen on days of our lives. You just gotta watch and let it happen, okay? Including the red card. I really enjoy the I don't even know the word for it, Ma, but just the way that Constantine crossed the room, got his attention, and then flipped the card to his face. John stumbles backwards, goes dizzy, loses all kinds of like his marbles, you know, and then stands up ready for his orders. Like just that sequence of body movement I found to be incredibly enjoyable for no reason other than look how dumb this is.
Exactly.
You know. And I kind of think that's the point, you guys. I'm not sure that they're exactly going for top tier drama when it comes to this.
If they're trying to make me laugh, it's working.
You know, I don't know if it's necessarily trying to go. It's not comedy, you know, not a comedy, but it's not heavy.
No,
I don't think it's supposed to be heavy.
Mm-mm.
You know, and I'm not getting that. I do enjoy Constantine, but I really
I cannot wait. Okay, this Constantine and Maggie wedding is coming up quick.
Oh God,
and
isn't it
I
gonna be
think
wonderful?
Black Patch is gonna
They're gonna
annihilate the whole thing.
They're gonna stop it just in the nick of time. We gotta stop it, partner. We gotta stop it. You're right, baby. You're right, baby. You know, whatever it is, you know, I gotta work on my Steve.
And
You're
then
right,
after they have saved the day,
Mhm.
then John's gonna turn to say, Stephen, I'm kinda mad at you.
I'm kind of mad at you, partner. Get a little back from me.
Things aren't adding up.
Things aren't adding up. Oh, Drake Hogiston, if you're watching, come on, hang out on the show. I don't know if you Googled your name recently and came up with, you know, John Black. I didn't really mention Drake Hogiston anywhere. So, but if you Googled John Black somewhere and came across this video, hey, Drake, how's it going? Come to the show. Come hang out on the 10th floor with us. You don't have to skinny dip either, unless you want to. I'm sure there'd be plenty of women out there that are like, woo. if you were to do that. My mother included. She likes a good 70-year-old man. You, Sam Elliott, you know. Steve Burton's not 70, but when he is, Mama's still going to find him hot. I just can't hold on to my thoughts to the Sammy video. Otherworldly really wants a Sammy slap breakdown video. Matt searched for the early clips of Sammy opening Marlena's bedroom door to see John and her mother betraying her dad, who she adored.
Oh, I didn't find that one.
Ooh, Marlena cheating with John. I'm sure Sammy was not happy about that. How many times did Sammy slap John in that video you saw?
I didn't see her slap John at all.
Who'd she slap the most?
I saw her slap Nicole twice in the same scene.
In the same scene?
You know, corrector, and then there was a corrector again.
So maybe one week we can do just compilation videos. We could do the Sammy slap video. I'm sure there's a John Black Kung Fu video, because I don't know if you remember the time Marlena woke him up a couple of weeks ago off the couch.
Yes.
And he popped out of that couch ready for Kung Fu. All right.
Well, one of his dads, one of the times he thought he was somebody else. His dad was a Kung Fu dude.
Oh, so of course he knows Kung Fu super well. John Black.
Yes, he does.
Belt. John Black Belt.
John Black Belt. Yes. And I guess Drake really, the reason why that's kind of went that way is because Drake really digs that stuff. He's into it.
Of course he is.
He's into it.
That's why Sonny's a boxer. That's why Sonny has a boxing gym.
And did you know that Drake went to college on a baseball scholarship and played minor league pro ball for the Yankees?
For the Yankees? Minor league? Didn't make it up to the main roster, though, did he?
He got hurt.
And then he became an actor, and we all love him for that today.
Yes.
Oh, look at that. What a history for Drake.
Yes, but he has a big baseball history.
Okay, so he loves baseball, too.
He loves baseball.
That just means that our family would be super good friends with Drake Hogestyn if we ever met him. So we should invite him to the house.
We should. Come on, Drake. You come on back. Come on. I make you tri-tip on the barbecue.
Yeah, barbecue tri-tip, some potato salad. You can hang out, watch television. I mean, it's not going to be very much different than I'm sure your regular day in your life. But it'll be a good time with some new faces. I'll even go back up to NorCal for it. You can hop in my car, Drake. I will drive you to my parents' house. I will happily drive you to my parents' house. I'll be nervous. I'll be super anxious, and you're going to have to carry the conversation for the most part. But hey, I'll do it. Well, I look forward to all of the developments that are coming up with John Black here on Days of Our Lives, Ma. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen at this wedding. Because you're totally right. John and Steve are going to break it apart.
Oh, I think so.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. There's going to be speeches. There's going to be action.
It could be even more. It could be like a compilation of people.
Just no.
I could see Xander coming in there with some kind of evidence too.
The priest is like, if somebody needs to speak before these two get married, do it now or forever hold your peace. And 4 people stand up.
Oh,
Xander, John.
Oh, Mimi.
Katarina comes in.
Yeah.
Hey, Laura, you're joining as I was leaning toward the sign off, but hello, Laura. Laura Smith says, who can believe that Deidre Hall Marlena is going to be 77 on Halloween? That lady looks good.
Yeah, she does. She looks great.
Yeah, I didn't realize she was 77. I thought she was younger than that.
Wow. Okay. Well, Drake's going to be 71 in September. He's another one of those September babies like most of the nation.
Like almost everybody, because boy, oh boy, is Valentine's Day a particularly spectacular day for folks, right? Isn't that how that works? Christmas and Valentine's Day, like September and November babies or something like that?
Yes.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. So, yeah, I can't believe that she's going to turn 77 on Halloween, but congratulations, Deidre Hall, for looking fabulous for so long. That explains why she majorly sits behind that desk and just advises people. She's 77. She's tired of walking.
what's the actress's name that plays Maggie? What's her name?
Suzanne
Rogers.
Rogers. Look at
She's
us.
80. She's 80.
She's 80. Look at them. Look at them. Days of Our Lives.
They're pretty dang good, too.
great. They are great at holding on to their elderly cast. I can't think of another soap that has so many of their stars from the 80s still on it.
I have to agree with you when it comes to like legacy characters.
Mm-hmm.
They just have had a lot.
Yeah, Days has. I mean, Kate and Roman and Steve and John, Kayla, Marlena. It just rolls off the tongue. Maggie.
Abe.
Yeah, there you go.
Abe's been on forever too.
Boom, 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 boom. You lean over to like GH. You've got like Scotty,
Tracy.
Lucy, Tracy,
and you could say Jeannie too.
Yeah, Laura. Yeah, for sure. I can't even say Sonny. Sonny's a 90s guy. He's not Legacy. Legacy is 80s or before, right? So, boom, I guess Felicia sort of. But that's still, I'm struggling to come up with names. All right, it was a lot easier for Days.
No, not, like Susan Seaforth Hayes been on there forever.
I know, Julie. Look at that. I didn't even say her name.
And, Bill Hayes, of course, now he's not with us.
But the character's
he was
still
on
right
there
now.
for a long time.
Yeah, the character's still on right now, too. Will be through December.
I don't even think that we've seen his last episode yet.
No, it's going to be, they got, I don't know exactly what, but there was some other stuff that they had finished. I remember Susan Seaforth Hayes saying that.
Yes.
Men don't get credit for looking younger because they don't age like we do, says Otherworldly. And you're right.
Yeah, and people don't pay attention to it as much either.
No, I think a dude is kind of expected to look older. And when they don't, it's like, what? But if you get that, okay, so like Paul Rudd, you're going to be great until you're dead, okay? But like Leonardo DiCaprio, he didn't age for a long time, and then he started to age, and now what are people talking about? How old Leo is. So, it's just a double-edged sword if you're famous in a male or a female or just a human being alive in the world, really. It's just tough out there. Which is why we broke into the MetroCorp pool so we can hang out, skinny dip, and talk about John Black and his kung fu action.
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
Duck. Stay away. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to just all the fun. Just all the fun of Days of Our Lives. And of course, all the fun that we're going to have here on the 10th floor. Mac and Robert PGH, they don't count. They're too new. At least Mac is too new. Anyway, I'm out of here. We're out of here. We're getting out of here. We're going to get out of here before security comes. All right? We've been up here making noise for too long, okay? I turned the jacuzzi pool heater on. Somebody's going to notice.
Yes.
I hope somebody enjoyed the jacuzzi, though, because I took a risk doing that for you. Anyway, we're getting out of here, okay? We're going to scale down the fire escape. Hide in the shadows. Make it back all the way down to the ground level of the Metro Court. Gonna sneak over here. Dash over there, somersault, tumble, and dive back into our cars to turn our radios to previous episodes of the 10th floor, which you can find on all your favorite podcasting platforms. If you can't find it on your favorite podcasting platform, you can reach out to us on Twitter at 10th floor GH, and we will send you in the right direction. And you know what, Ma? I opened up a Thread account too.
You opened a what account?
A Threads account. It's Twitter, but Facebook.
Oh.
So Elon Musk bought Twitter, and so Mark Zuckerberg was like, F that. He's my rival. And so he launched his own Twitter, and he called it Threads. It's connected to Instagram and all that. So we're on that now.
Good.
And we're on Instagram, and we're on Facebook. I need to find a way to shield our Facebook from the robots. I'm sorry if anybody's been bothered by a robot. Anyway,
why do they do that?
I don't know. Facebook, compromised and stuff. I gotta find a secure. Anyway, that's for me to figure out, not for me to narrate. Previous episode of 10th floor, which you can find on your paper on the 10th floor, 0th floor GH on Twitter. Our next show is going to be 9 a.m. Sunday morning, Days for Dummies, as we cover more than just John Black. We talk about it all. We talk about all 5 days.
We sure do.
Give our reactions and pick the brain of Professor Angela, who's been watching Days her whole life, so she can inform us all the insanity and craziness that happened yesterday that informs
Mhm.
today.
Yes.
And then, of course, Sunday at 11 a.m., shortly after Days for Dummies, we're going to have 10th Floor Podcast, which is our General Hospital specific one. So join us for that.
Mm.
So if you enjoyed hanging out with us today, like the video. If you didn't like the video, if you're just passing by for 5 seconds, like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Tell your friends that we're here.
Yeah.
Otherworldly says, see, that's why Mama Cat appeals to me, singing kung fu fighting. Look at that, Ma. You got fans. Mama Cat and Daddy T or whatever it was. Right?
I've
Anyway,
never been shot.
that's it. We'll see you Sunday. Goodbye. I've been Nat.
I've been